We hit that record. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday. The date is July 19th. Let's see this. The date is July 19th. We're at a dock here in essentially St. Louis. It's just across the river in Illinois on 4th Street. We're picking up oil, like car oil and stuff, and then we're taking this to Bayonne, New Jersey. I've done this load many times before. It's just that I picked it up at different locations. But yeah, as you can see, well, you probably can't. I'm starting to sweat. They make you give your keys to them inside the warehouse, and you can't get loaded until you give the keys. And as you probably know, I mean, it's extremely hot outside. It's only, you know, 9 a.m. right now, but it's gonna get even hotter. And even right now, I'm sweating. I'm starting to sweat, which just kind of sucks. And FYI, for those of you not into trucking, there's a lot of companies with these type of policies. There's companies that want you to drop the trailer and pull forward, which I like, because you can run your truck and you can sleep. There's no bouncing in the trailer. And then some other companies, they want you to stay hooked, but you cannot start your truck, which it's like absolute torture. Like, what do you mean? I know Anheuser, which is a brewery in St. Louis, Anheuser-Busch, whenever you load there, they have a rule that says you have to shut your truck off. I myself personally have never come across somebody telling me to shut it off, but I've heard before somebody that went over there with their kid. They took their kid, you know, on the ride to the truck. Let's wait for this guy to pass. On the ride in the truck to a load, and they made them shut the truck off. I mean, it was like 100 degrees outside, and you know, it's just inhumane. And you know what they told him? They have a rule that if you have a dog with you, you can run the truck, which is just like insane to me. The fact that a dog's life is valued more than a human's life, it's makes you kind of think twice what's going on. Let's check this. All right, our super view is on. Let's start this thing up. I broke this thing off. It like popped off. I don't know. It is hot here, I'll tell you that. I stayed inside for the duration of them loading me. Let's pull forward so we can close the doors and see what's going on in there. We'll bring this with us so we can see. Hauling some oil. Oh, that's lovely. Let's go in here, check it out. Always make sure everything is stacked properly. Got some barrels. Should be alright. Don't really need to strap that down since it's palletized and wrapped nicely. Let's close this other door. We'll have to just seal that up and lock it, and then we'll catch you guys on driving. Alright. We have to remark that we were loading, hit OK, switch to driving, and then we'll go there. We'll have to reverse out a little bit so I can actually make this turn. Not the best place to be in, I'll tell you that. get back to driving, rookies. Put the seatbelt on. Safety first, always. I believe the camera is mounted in a good direction, but we'll swing it down a little bit. Look at that abandoned cop car, what a shame. I was watching a video the other day and this guy was like driving, and it was a truck driver and he wasn't sure where to go, so he seen a cop just like that, and he was like, oh hey, I'm gonna ask this guy for directions, and he stopped. After he stopped, he realized it was actually a dummy, not an actual person. But yeah, right now we're in Edwardsville, Illinois, and I'm about to just go park and probably just go home and then leave sometime Sunday. We're gonna be heading to New Jersey. Our delivery is Monday. I'll have to check the exact time. But yeah, as I was saying, I was just talking to another truck driver here as well. Trucking is getting pretty bad. I don't know. Like, the loads have been so bad, and that's the reason I kind of said that, hey, I'm not gonna purchase a truck, or I'm glad that I have not purchased a truck, that is, just because of the bad loads. Like, they're horrible. I mean, to give you an idea of how horrible they have really gotten, like a year ago when electronic logbooks just started, when I just started driving, you could gross about, I don't know, $6,000 to $7,000. You could gross that per week. And I know to people that are not driving, you know, that may seem like a huge amount of money, and I mean, I agree, it is a lot of money, but you have to keep in mind you have so many expenses. For example, let's take into account, we're going to compare your company driver with your owner operator, meaning somebody that owns their own truck, and they just get loads dispatched by a company, and then the company takes a cut. So first, let's talk about this owner operator. Let's say this owner operator in today's economy market, at least the loads that I'm familiar with, can probably gross between $4,500 to $5,000 on average, as is right now. That's what I would say. I would say that is really bad. So let's say that owner operator grosses $5,000. So that owner operator grosses $5,000. The company is going to take on average 10%. So he's down to $4,500. Let's say he does 2,300 miles that week. That's probably about $1,000 of gas if you talk about idle time and you know, gas mileage, and depending on where he goes, but let's say $1,000. I understand newer trucks get better fuel efficiency, etc., but I'd say $1,000. If you take that $1,000, he's down to $3,500. Now, let's say I was that owner operator. My insurance right now, what the company is paying for me for this older truck, is about $2,000 a month, which translates into $500 a week. So I'd be down to $3,000. Let's say I purchased the truck, that was 30 grand, and I purchased a trailer, that would be another $2,000 a month, aka, you know, $500 a week. So we were at 3,000, now we're at 2,500. So going back, some grinding there. So I was at what, 3,000, and then minus the truck and trailer, I was at what, 2,500. And then I would say you could easily do $500, well, not a week, but you could probably do like another $400 a week for like preventative maintenance. And, you know, when I say preventative, I mean like your tires, your brakes, your oil changes, and that, you know, $400 is low, because I'm thinking of that as someone who does all of their work. So meaning you don't go to a shop to do it, you do it yourself. So after that, $2,500 I think is the number we're on so far. You're at $2,100. So you're at $2,100 a week after your expenses. Now keep in mind, everybody's like, oh well, that's actually not bad. Well, it's not, but that accounts for an older truck, and parts are very expensive. Even if you do your own work, it's still going to be expensive. For example, just last week, radiator went out on this truck. We contacted Freightliner, like a genuine part from Freightliner, and they're like, yeah, that's going to be $2,800, and that is if you do it yourself. If Freightliner was about to do it, I'm sure they would charge at least $4,000 to $5,000. So if you split that for the month, there you go. Your $2,100 now is $1,100 for that whole month. But that is just one repair. There's these random, you know, nuts and bolts and you know, brackets and whatnot that go out on daily that are going to add up to a substantial amount of money as well. So the point I'm making here, and I guess you get the point, your average truck driver in today's industry probably gets paid 50 cents a mile. And let's say they average 22 to 2,500 miles a week, which is doable with electronic logbooks. They're gonna get a nice paycheck of $1,200. So for me to go out and risk that extra $900 or whatever the case, to be an owner-operator, to have to do the work on truck, to you know, have the whole headache of owning a truck, right now is just not worth it. And the point I'm trying to make with all of this is I need to make at least $6,000 to $7,000 for it to be worth for me to be an owner-operator. Yeah, we see that cop back there. He's checking us out. We're not doing anything wrong though. Yeah, so it's just not worth it. And you know, if you go on Google right now and you type in trucking company closes doors, there's gonna be so many. They just can't hang because you have a lot of new companies that just went and got a bunch of loans and they have so much overhead costs, they just can't do it. They're closing the doors, they're firing people left and right. A lot of small guys are closing doors because they don't have money saved up. Like, it's bad. When I tell you it's bad, trust me, it is bad. But yeah, I guess that was kind of the topic of the conversation for the day. I have to run to Walmart, buy a new cooler because my cooler went out. And I actually don't think it's the cooler, I think it's the cable. But I'm just gonna go buy a new one, we'll see. Yeah, that should do it for now. This is McKinley Bridge, if you're not familiar with it. This is in St. Louis. Essentially, this is crossing from Illinois to St. Louis. And yeah, I don't even know what I was going to say. But that should complete it for today's session of recording. Hope you guys liked the video. I'll have more coming.